We are recording, I believe. Here we go. So today we are joined by the very talented jazz pop singer writer. That's a lot there. Florie Namir. Welcome to the Rabbit Hole Show. And how are
Thank
you?
you. I'm great, thanks. How are you?
I'm very good. I like how everyone's got their background, just like really neat. Like previously, before the probably the podcast or shows, it's probably a real mess. And I like let's make it.
Completely. You don't want to see the other parts of the room.
No, no, you don't want to see any of this other part because it's a
Mm-mm.
complete and utter mess. So I wanted to start the question by mentioning the pandemic and how have you been coping? Are you still able to perform your music, for example, on Twitch, YouTube, or other social media?
Um, yeah, so since the pandemic, I was not able to perform it live, but I've been broadcasting live concerts for a couple of months, and that was nice. Then it ended, and now I'm actually working on an album. So taking a little break from performing. Yeah.
Okay, so what kind of album is this? What do we
Um,
expect?
Yeah, it's gonna be jazz pop songs, 5 songs that I wrote about personal experiences. There's some missing faraway people. There's
Mm.
some song about kindness and song about mislove, and
So
yeah, it's kind of
it's positive, really, isn't it? And we need a lot of
it's
positive now.
yeah, I
Or a
try to make it
mixture.
positive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's a good
So
mixture,
so what
definitely.
were you doing before the pandemic? Where were you going performing?
I had a sweet gig on the weekends, playing piano bar and singing.
Oh wow.
So it was kind of a one girl show, I guess, and doing some covers, a little bit original. So that was very nice. I got to meet a lot of people. You know, it was in a
Yeah, I heard.
bar of hotel, so got to chat with a lot of people. That was fun. And I was starting to do a production for this Russian theater production about Scott Fitzgerald's life, and I was going to improvise some jazz parts during the dance movements and some acting, and yeah, so that all
Oh,
got
you do
suspended.
acting.
Not me. The
Oh.
actors. There was an actor from Moscow that
Oh,
was
okay.
supposed to arrive to London, and that got cancelled. So
Oh wow. I want
yeah.
to talk about your childhood now, okay?
Okay.
And when your musical path started. Did you have family members who had musical backgrounds and this influenced you into a musical journey or something you wanted to do on your own?
Um, Not really. I mean, my parents don't play or sing. I guess my uncle kind of influenced me. He really liked music. My mom also loves music. They had records at home, and we had a record player, and I used to destroy it from time to time, and then until permanently it was destroyed.
Scratched it to
So
death.
yeah,
It's like
yeah,
a cat's been
unfortunately,
on it.
yeah. And so I guess I heard a lot of music growing up, and I was also always musically inclined, and I played an instrument from an early age and was singing a lot. So that was the starting point.
What was your
Yeah,
first instrument you played?
piano.
Oh, is it piano?
Actually, that's not true. I had a
You love
toy accordion.
yeah. There you go.
Yeah. So
Oh, you played the recorder.
no, accordion. So I
Accordion.
had a toy accordion growing up. So I guess, yeah, that was my first instrument.
Well, the first instrument I ever played was the recorder.
Oh, really? At
Yes.
school, did you have like mandatory music classes?
It was way in the major. Du- 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 du. It's like every class was playing that song on the recorder. But but while I was playing the recorder, there was a piano, and I used to play that. So that's what
Mm,
started my musical journey. So I just enjoy playing it a little. I'm not as adept as you, but I'm just enjoying it. That's what I think.
nice. Do you play? Do you still play the recorder or piano?
I play the keyboard. I help compose music for video games for Rabbit Hole
Awesome.
Studios. So
Right.
this is the podcast to Rabbit Hole Studios. So, and this was like a little added addition to their company. So now I'm interviewing people, which is I'm having fun doing it.
Yeah, you look like you're having fun. That's great.
So I want to talk about your songs now. I have been listening to your music from Piece of My Soul, which is my wife's and mine favorite. I'll admit.
Awesome. It's gonna
Yeah.
be in the EP with a
Is it
full band and everything.
really? Wow.
And saxophone rocking it. No, jazzing
Really?
it.
Is this really going
Yeah.
to happen? Yeah. Wow. Wow. That's amazing. Will it be
Oh,
performing
glad to.
anywhere?
Yeah, all of these songs I've been performing. I lived actually in Boston before I moved to London, so I performed a lot
Boston.
there. Boston, Massachusetts.
You haven't quite got the accent of
I should say
Boston, though.
always remember.
Boston.
Yeah.
Is it
So,
Bostonians? Is that what they call it?
yeah, Bostonians.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's it. Yeah.
Boston.
Boston. And Mornings and Half Smile,
Mm.
which I like, but I have to admit, Piece of My Soul is my favorite. Do you have a personal favorite of your own composition works, and what are your ideas behind it and thoughts?
I really like performance-wise. I really like mornings because, well, I enjoy playing it, and when I play it, I usually see that it makes people happy. So it really makes me happy as well.
Did you have an
So
idea behind it? It just reminds you of the mornings.
I wrote it in the morning in the shower. My best songs are written in the shower. So yeah, it was just a real life story. Not wanting to, wanting to get up into a pure kind of morning. You're still dreaming, but you are awake, and everything is kind of the universe allows you to settle in back to reality. And yeah.
I
So
wish I thought about that for mornings, but for me, I'm like the night owl. I can't. I am not a morning person. I will admit that. So I prefer the nights to me. How would you describe your music style?
I think I could say it's a vocal jazz inspired with kind of a mix of old school pop. And then I would refer the question to you because I'm really curious to know what you would say. How would you define it?
Magnificent. That's all I need to say.
I like that.
You got that natural voice that I don't think you need any added things onto it, effects. That's how I see it.
Thanks.
I just feel like you've got that voice, and that's when I do my production. I try and keep people's voice as natural as possible without adding anything to it, because it sort of ruins, authenticity of it.
I like it natural, but it really depends on the context. So if this song really requires it, and some songs do, I like a little bit of echo and the reverb, and it could add to the atmosphere sometimes. Yeah, but I know what you mean about keeping it more natural and like somebody's sitting right next to you and singing to you. There's
just nice and raw, you don't need anything extra to it. That's probably why I like Piece of My Soul out of all of your composition work. I didn't see many on Spotify, but that one in particular was like the favorite of mine. But is there like any favorite music you listen to that isn't jazz or just maybe something different?
I really like listening to Björk's music. I know I'm kind of old school, so I'm not gonna probably say the most modern artists, the young artists right now, but I grew up on certain music, and that's probably my influences. So I listen a lot to Björk, I listen to Sting, I listen to Elton John, the Beatles.
I think my wife would love you for like Elton John, the Beatles.
Yeah.
Definitely. I think you two would get on musically.
Oh, I'd love to meet her.
So is there a track, okay, is there a track or composition of yours in particular you love but didn't get the reaction you wanted? So something you were putting a lot of effort in and you love it, it sounds great, but didn't get what you wanted.
I think Half Smiles.
And do you hate those people? No, I'm kidding.
Half Smiles. I released an EP, a 3-song EP that is called In My Bedroom. And it's up on my Bandcamp page.
Okay.
And that song was so personal, and I'm really, really attached to it, but for some reason, when I play it live, something doesn't come out properly. Again, maybe it's that special effect that I used, or doubling, or I don't know what. But
is it so the editing, the production wise, it doesn't come out as clean as you think it should be?
Yeah, I mean, the production wise, I guess it's better than to perform it solo. Yeah, it doesn't come across properly for some reason. So that, but there would always be songs like that where you imagine one thing and then it doesn't really project as you imagine.
That's it. There's songs I do that I put so much effort into. I think I do anyway, and it doesn't get the reaction I expected. Then I put on something that I think, no, it's not going to do well, and it does. It always it always happens. So, is there a track you were not happy with, but ended up receiving positive feedback?
I wouldn't say I wasn't happy with, because I try not to put out things that I'm not happy with. But there were a few songs that I thought, oh, maybe they're a little cheesy, or but they happen to be my best song ever, like response wise from the audience. This one particular song that is called Kindness, that is going to be also on my new EP. And yeah, that song I was sure is quite cheesy. I don't know why. Something with the chord progression that for me, 15151 is the most primitive. Sorry, I'm coming from the classical world, so it's like the most basic chord progression ever. And but it's a big hit. Sometimes you just need the simplest thing, and that touches you.
Yeah, you just need to put some of that cheese on it, and then you get a big hit. So you have been performing all over the world, from I believe Mexico, USA, Israel. Is there a memorable place you love and would always go back to?
In each place there was something so special. I enjoyed performing in Israel a lot because the responses are just so positive and encouraging, and I love seeing, inviting people that I haven't seen for ages. I'm from Israel originally, so when I perform in Israel, I tend to invite a lot of people that I know, and it's really nice always to see them. I enjoyed also performing in Mexico City. It was such a beautiful crowd, and they were so enthusiastic after the show, and I had an amazing band. I enjoyed performing in Tokyo also. Also, the response was really nice, and people were really attentive. And yeah, so each place had something really special about it for me as an experience.
But musically, does it give you does it inspire you with ideas with your own work? Going to different
performing?
Yeah.
Performing itself, I'm not sure. I think other things inspire me more. What inspires me about performance is it keeps me going, I guess, as an artist, because we tend to do a lot of things on our own, in our own little isolated space, and performance is the first time where you actually interact with your listeners and you can
Exactly.
see what they feel at the moment when they hear your music. Otherwise you can't, if it's transmitted digitally and or they listen to your CD by themselves at home, you don't know what they think. So it's nice to have that immediate feedback. And yeah, just it's a driving force at the end, I think, for me.
That's good. Good answer. I like that. Is there a place you haven't been you would love to perform at?
I think I would love to perform in Paris. um I like some of my inspirations are from um, from French artists like El Naim, who's a French Israeli artist, and Edith Piaf. Obviously, is an icon. Is one of my inspiration. I like
Oh,
Zaz. She's kind of jazzy soul mix. I don't know how to um, explain it. I like
fusion.
Christine.
I don't know. Jazz
Yeah,
fusion.
fusion. Yeah, Christine and the Queens. Anyway, a lot of my favorite artists come from France. So I would love one day to perform in Paris.
Just
Yeah.
Paris?
No, I would like to see other places too. You just asked me how much time do we have?
Uh,
I'd love to perform in everywhere where people are listening. You know, that's the best scenario. Because I had an empty gig in New York City, and while playing in New York City was super great and exciting, just being in New York City. But playing to an empty room is not interesting. It's not interesting and not fun. So any room that is full with people is fine by me. It can be anywhere in the world. Yeah.
have you tried performing like live streaming maybe for an idea as we're still in the pandemic?
Yeah, I did. Well, I did that. I mentioned earlier, I did the concert series for 4 months, where every Saturday I performed half an hour set and then had the guest perform another half an hour set. And we had quite a lot of viewers from around the world. So that was really, really fun. I ended up stopping that because I wanted to do other things like the EP I'm working on. But yeah, any chance to perform is just wonderful. So
Hmm. So
we'll
when
see.
the
Once I'm a little less busy, I'll definitely get back to it.
so when we're finally safe and COVID is gone, have you any plans performing new music projects?
Yes, I'd love to perform. I actually didn't get to really explore the city since I moved. So I would definitely want to discover those cute little corners around the city. If it's a nice cafe, or it's a cute spot in a museum, or I don't know, it's a nice elegant bar. I just love being there. Yeah, that's my
So,
plan. Discover those cute, elegant places around the city.
oh, you just want to visit all these places, don't you?
No, visit and play. Definitely play.
I'll play, yeah, just not
Any
visit. Yeah.
place that inspires me visually and like the vibe, and that is nice and quiet, and I think that people will enjoy music in it. Definitely.
You'll be on a big like wheel, like fun fair ride, and you'll be performing. If I can perform.
Oh no, that's not for me. No, I get
No, you
dizzy.
don't like those, no?
No.
So, winning awards and performing around the world, have you any tips or advice for younger people, like kids, who want to get into music as a career path?
um just doing it, I guess.
Just do
Just
it.
doing it. Yeah, just do what you do, and all the time with consistency and with motivation. Although sometimes it's hard, but find the things that motivate you and just keep doing it, even if it's you on your own in your room writing music, just keep doing and working on it, and things really develop, and then go and perform as much as you can, and play your things for people, and yeah, you'll discover a lot of beautiful things by doing that. So I think those two things are my advice.
Do you believe education is definitely a must? So, learn because you learnt theory, obviously, and do you believe everyone should learn theory? Because went by ear. I learnt by ear music, so that was the longest journey for me. Do you prefer theory or just by ear, or both?
Mm, whatever suits the person. I mean, I guess there are two different schools. I'm the one that coming from an educated school. I've been learning all my life music. Starting from a young age in a music school, and then high school and the music program. I did music in the army, and then studied university, first degree, second degree, master's, PhD. So I'm like all the way for education, for music education. And I think that I've learned a lot of things that's sitting in the back of my mind. I'm not even aware when I'm writing music, but they're there. So I'm using that all the time. Um, but I can totally see how you wouldn't know how to read or write music, and you could be an amazing musician. So if you have that thing, that unexplained thing, so I guess whatever your path is, whatever you think suits you most, is the right thing for you.
Definitely, that's how I feel. I just went right at it. I had my brother who played guitar and keyboards, but I kind of went in it on my own. So
Hmm.
I didn't know the theory side of it. I just heard particular film composers, and that's what
Hmm.
really got me into it. So, like, yeah. Is
Mm,
there
that's
like a
amazing.
music type you'd like to perform like you haven't done before?
Um, I would really love to try to do something with electronics. I've never done anything with electronic. I tried putting that in this EP, and I ended up canceling everything, all the electronic part, because I'm just not there yet. But
You don't
but
want to go
maybe one
outside,
day.
yeah, of your
Maybe
element.
one day. Maybe one day. Yeah.
So you want to do like a sort of Bjork sort of style because she's kind of
Yeah. I
yeah.
mean, I'm not trying to do similar to other artists, but I'm thinking if I would ever try something else, because I sang rock, I sang soul, I sang pop, I sang jazz. I've never did anything with electronics. So that's like one thing that I haven't done. I even did a little reggae. So it's
Oh, really?
just something that I haven't done is electronics, and I would really want to try. Yeah, just something with that. But I think it would not work. You know why? Because I keep improvising all the time. When I play, poor bands. But no, seriously, when I play, sometimes I get inside myself, and I'm in the moment that I change the form completely, and I go into some improvisation weirdly. And yeah, so I don't know if a fixed track would work with what I do, honestly. But who knows?
Have you got a proudest moment in music?
A what? Sorry?
A proudest moment. What's your proudest moment in music?
Proudest moment. Bless you, my neighbor. Proudest moment in music. Uh, yes, I think seeing. Well, it's kind of off topic, but seeing a class of my students performing their own concert. Uh, some of them even for the first time, playing something they've learned throughout the semester, and then they get the courage to go and play it on a big grand Steinway piano. It's and do it so nicely and feeling good about it. Yeah, that's a very proud moment.
Um, so thank you for coming on the show.
Thank
It's
you,
been
Charlie.
great having you. And my last question is, do you prefer tea or coffee?
I'm a coffee person.
And why?
I don't know. I just need coffee in my morning. Without it, it's not a proper morning. I need
Huh?
coffee. Yeah,
Yeah. Is that
coffee
what
get me
that's
going.
what really inspires you, isn't it? The coffee. Without coffee,
Yeah.
you ain't doing no music.
No, seriously, having a warm coffee that you can drink from beginning to end, that it's still warm. Oh my God, when you have a child, you tend to appreciate it more.
Yeah.
Those five
the stress
moments.
the stress of a child. I need that
Yeah.
coffee. Yeah. Yeah, I'm on tea, but I do have coffee in the morning, so I've kind of stabbed tea in the back a bit. But I
How did you
still,
decide if you want tea or coffee? What makes you decide what to
at the
drink?
moment, I like coffee because it helps me get up in the morning. So I'm like, oh, give me a coffee, and then I'm like, oh, okay, I'm good now. I've got that bit
Yeah.
of energy in me, so that's that's why I like my coffee, and it tastes
Mm.
good. It's good, and it has to be hot. It
Yes.
can't be too strong, and it can't be too weak,
Yeah.
and you can't have too
Agree.
much milk and just enough sugar. So it's quite a blend. With tea, you can just put a tea bag in and drink it. But with coffee,
Ah, you don't put milk in the tea?
oh yeah, milk, yeah, no
Okay.
sugar though,
No
no
sugar.
sugar, no, not in tea. But with coffee, you kind of need it because it's a bit strong, I believe.
Mm.
Hmm. Well, thank you for that answer. That was the most important answer I needed today.
Yeah.
So thank you for coming on the show. It's been really nice, and I hope you've enjoyed it. It was quick, but it was uh, really nice. So,
I definitely enjoyed it. Thank you, Charlie.
and
Thanks for
I will
inviting me.
say goodbye, all, and see you next time. I'll put a description of your website and any other songs
Fantastic.
you want in there. I'll put it down there, and then everyone can have a little look and listen. Okay,
Thank you.
goodbye, all.